Hi guys, it's Kenye. Welcome back to the channel. And I was thinking today, what would I usually be doing right now if I was at home? And since I'm here in my room, it's college, I was like, what would I be doing at home? And in the middle of February. In the middle of February, I would right now be practicing for the Black History program at my house. So we had Black History programs every single year for 12 years. My mom hosted them, and she's the one who came up with it, and she's so proud of, Black history, and that's how I became proud of Black history. And this was where me, my cousins, and our friends would all participate, and we would all have to learn a poem or something about W.E.B. Du Bois one time and Booker T. Washington. And I just really missed doing that because we would then perform them for our aunts, our uncles, my mom's adult friends, all these people. And it changed venues sometimes. Sometimes it was at our house, sometimes it was at a church. And it was always something that I looked forward to every February. And I just wanted to thank my mom for doing these programs because she was very pro-black. And just because you're pro-black doesn't mean that you're anti-white or anti any other race. It just means that you're learning to love yourself. Therefore, when I was a child, my mom only let me buy little black dolls and not any other race until I learned how to associate being black with myself. And then she would let me buy like white dolls, brown dolls, like other dolls. And that was really important to me because I could see a physical representation of myself. And I then was like, oh, that's me. That's what I look like. But that never took away from my love of other people, even if they weren't black. And the same happened where my mom would have us read books at nighttime when we did our little nighttime bedtime stories that they always had black children in them, or it was talking about black history, and these things started to become my norm, my default, so that I didn't think that white American culture was my default. And I really want to thank my mom for that because it was very important in my growth. And so now I can proudly say that I am a black woman and that I appreciate who I am. And that's all thanks to my mother because she wanted to teach me to love myself before the world taught me to hate myself. And just really want to thank you for that, for teaching this little black child about all of those beautiful things, my mother. And so, in honor of Black History Month, I wanted to read 3 things to you guys. There is an article that I saw, I believe it was in the Huffington Post. And so I wanted to read a Huffington Post article about Beyonce's Formation Super Bowl performance. I wanted to read also 2 poems that I will later give the titles for. All right, here we go. Here's the article in Pop Sugar about Beyonce's Formation Super Bowl performance by Brittany Stevens. Sorry. Over the years, being black, or in some cases, not being black enough, has impacted my career, my friendships, and my dating life. I know deep down that there have been jobs that I didn't get and guys who have turned me down because of my race. I'm aware that I'm a lot of people's only black friend, and I've heard multiple times that they don't see me as black, which, let's be real, is really just saying you're not like what I think black people are. I've kept a lot of frustrations to myself and have done my best not to come off as angry black girl because society tells us that she is scary and militant, and it is hard for most people to relate to her. But when Beyonce stepped onto the field at a high-profile football event, wearing a Michael Jackson-inspired military blazer and literally looking bulletproof, while her backup dancers channeled Black Panther Party activists in the middle of freaking Black History Month, I could not be moved by that. And I refuse to let myself be intimidated by hateful, soulless people on the internet. After a brief moment of dejection, I decided that this was a great time as any to pick my head up and feel the pride and love that Beyonce wanted me to feel. And guess what? No amount of backlash, criticism, or racist remarks will make me love her or this song any less. I'm staying in formation. Ballad of Birmingham by Dudley Randall. Mother dear, may I go downtown instead of out to play and march the streets of Birmingham in a freedom march today?
No, baby, no, you may not go, for the dogs are fierce and wild, and clubs and hoses, guns and jails aren't good for a little child. But, mother, I won't be alone. Other children will go with me and march the streets of Birmingham to make our country free. No, baby, no, you may not go, for I fear those guns will fire. But you may go to church instead and sing in the children's choir. She has combed and brushed her night dark hair, and bathed rose petals sweet, and drawn white gloves on her small brown hands, and white shoes on her feet. The mother smiled to know her child was in the sacred place, but that smile was the last smile to come upon her face. For when she heard the explosion, her eyes grew wet and wild. She raced through the streets of Birmingham, calling for her child. She clawed through bits of glass and brick, then lifted out a shoe. Oh, here's the shoe my baby wore. But baby, where are you? Frederick Douglass by Robert Hayden. When it is finally ours, this freedom, this liberty, this beautiful and terrible thing, needful to man as air, usable as earth, when it belongs at last to all, when it is truly instinct, brain matter, diastole, systole, reflex, action, when it is finally one, when it is more than the gaudy mumbo jumbo of politicians, this man, this Douglass, this former slave, this Negro beaten to his knees, exiled, visioning a world where none is lonely, none hunted, alien, this man superb in love and logic, this man shall be remembered. Oh, not with statues, rhetoric, not with legends and poems and wreaths of bronze alone, but with the lives grown out of his life, the lives fleshing his dream of the beautiful, needful thing.